few red apples falling from the same tree. They're all wondering why one skin is green. 'Cause I can't put no coins in your cup. 'Cause I'm still trying to work my way up. And never meant to show you no love. But this can't be about you. This can't be about you. You gotta let me go. Gotta let this bird flow. Make it fast, not slow. It's the path I chose. Feel it in my soul. And I'm so thankful. Oh, 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 oh. You gotta let me go. Gotta let this bird flow. Make it fast, not slow. It's the path I chose. Feel it in my soul. And I'm so thankful. Oh, 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 oh. I'm here by the skin of my teeth. And you can't keep tugging my sleeve. What I make we can eat. This just can't be about you. This can't be about you. You gotta let me go. Gotta let this bird flow. Make it fast, not slow. It's the path I chose. Feel it in my soul. And I'm so thankful. Oh, 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 oh.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode. Underground Railroad Productions. This show's Brother Rich. I'm here with the Blue Pillar. Yo, Blue, can we see that shirt, my brother?
Yes.
Can we see that shirt? No, that
the latest in the Legend series.
Yeah, that's your
You know what I'm
showstopper there. That picture of Malcolm right there.
Had to show respect to Malcolm. You know what I'm saying, for our people that's on a grown thing, for the grown folk business. You know what I'm saying. This is that grown up look. Saluting our brother. You know, this is his 52nd death anniversary.
Today.
I don't have many days that I hold sacred. This is one of them. I've shared my story on Black Magic 363 about how I even came into the name Blue Pill, and it was intricately tied in to this date in 2007 when I was kidnapped, you know what I'm saying, by the policy enforcers, and they said I had a warrant on my record, and they sent me to Valhalla, and I was incarcerated next to his grandson, the younger brother Shabazz. And at this time, I utilized that time, you know, of solitude to start writing a book of poetry that came to be known as the Blue Pill. And that's how I acquired that name, thanks to Brother Amun and Brother Sarnetta in Harlem, always making reference to the book and then ultimately calling me the Blue Pill, and the name just stuck. So I have a history that's intricately tied to, you know, the brother Malcolm, you know, by just acknowledging the sacrifices that he's made, trying as best as I can to pay homage to that legacy and those sacrifices. And then, like I said, you know, just having a conversation, a heart-to-heart, 2-hour heart-to-heart conversation with his grandson behind the wall about what this brother represented, what his grandfather represented, what his mission was. Because when I ran into his grandson was just gangbanging, and I poured into him. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, I was shaking and shit. I was in tears by the time I finished. And the next time I saw that brother, you know, he wasn't gangbanging no more. He was on the cover of Giant magazine. He was dressed as his grandfather, and now he was socially aware. And that's how he, from what I understand, he continued his assignment and his mission until he met his untimely demise. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm in full honor and celebration of his life and legacy.
Yeah, that's one incredible piece right there, I gotta say. Where can I get that at, brother?
They will be able to acquire this off of apparelnormal.com. It's part of the Spring 17 line for Apparel Normal.
Indeed. And as we get into the show, and talk about Hollywood, I want to talk a little bit about Hollywood and the perception that they put out there to the public about certain entertainers, in particular Nick Cannon. I did a show with Griff last week. We was talking
Shout
about
out to Griff.
everything. Yeah, we was talking about Nick Cannon and everything that went down, and him standing up to what he believes in and quitting America's Got Talent because they want him to behave a certain way and, you know, check his blackness at the door.
Yes.
So
I think that that's a perfect segue, and it's an extension of the conversation that we were having the day prior, right? The last episode that I was on Black Magic 363. Shout out to Brother Rich, where we was talking about brand loyalty and contracts with Charles Oakley. You know what I'm saying? I think that this is an extension of that conversation, because in exchange for the contractual, right, obligations that this brother had to this corporation, they were in so many ways saying, look, you know, I don't know what the contract. I would love to see the contract to see do they contractually own the name and the likeness of their talent? Okay. Same way that when those people sign up for America's Got Talent, just like they were on American Idol and all of these other shows, those corporations kind of like own, you feel me, the whole likeness of those characters, right, and their property as well.
Right.
That's how Ryan Seacrest is, you know what I'm saying? He blew up in Hollywood because, you know, they would take those artists, the ones that would break through, and they would put them through the farm industry of those particular companies, those record companies, you know, the Fantasias of the worlds and the Jennifer Hudsons, and remember our brother, what was the heavyset brother? Ruben Studdard, my dude.
Okay, yeah.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
All right, because his voice never diminished. You feel me? So, yeah, I would be very interested to see if what the executives were saying was in line, right, with the contract, and were they just exercising, you know, that fine writing that was in the contract. But either way, our brother Nick wasn't having it, and he shook off the shackles. Okay, salute to brother Nick Cannon.
Indeed. So what's pretty much been, since he released this statement on Facebook, what they're doing to him is pretty much what I seen happen to Dave Chappelle. I guess that was about what, 15 years ago? What was that, about 12 years with the comedy?
Chappelle show?
Yeah, the Chappelle show. What year was that?
It might have been like 05 though.
Probably about
05, 06.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10 or 15 years. Feels like that.
Yeah.
But we probably was like 07 to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I went to 2 of those shows, and I don't think I was writing a newspaper. I might have been doing street knowledge.
Okay.
So I think that might have been like 07, 08, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, at that time, the only thing we could do as listeners or as the audience was speculate and say, well, shit, is the nigga crazy? Well, we didn't think he was crazy, but it wasn't like today's world where you could come out on Instagram or Twitter and just speak for yourself. It was a whole different world then. So I want to put out I just want to read this real quick. I seen
Yes.
Nick Cannon posted this on his Instagram. He posts a lot of good stuff, but
He does.
this is going to lead into the question that I have for you, brother. All right, this is a quote he put about John Lennon. I think our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal. What do you say that? Maniacal ends. I think they're all insane, but I am liable to be put away as insane for expressing that. That's what is insane about it. Don't you agree? And that's from John Lennon. All right, so everybody probably seen the meme, or they're gonna see a meme that I posted on this video where he's like walking by and they got Jay-Z, Beyonce looking at him, and they're like, yo, they looking at him all crazy. I don't know, that's up for grabs. Anybody, I don't know exactly what was on their mind, but
that's the beauty of memes.
Yeah, but the question is, Blue, how does a person navigate in what we call this matrix, you the blue pill, in this matrix, when you wake up, you get called crazy, you get called insane, you get called weird, you get called all of these names that if you're not strong, that shit'll drive you insane.
That's an excellent question, and it again, it segues into, you know, why I even chose the name or chose to name the book The Blue Pill. You know, initially I felt that it was a mistake because I thought that I was naming it the pill that's supposed to wake you up, but it kind of spoke to my experience when I woke up. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the first out of my group that became awakened, you know what I mean? And my brother was still in the streets, you know what I'm saying? All of my partners, everybody was still in the streets, and I started going through drastic changes, you know what I'm saying? Once I started realizing that a lot of this construct was a lie, you know what I'm saying? So many pieces of it started falling to pieces, and I was called crazy, I was called weird, I was called all of those things that they are using to shame our brother Nick Cannon and many others like him, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I can identify so much with the outcasts of society, with the people who have popped the blue pill, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want nobody running to say, oh, I want to listen to what that person say because they have that's the red pill. It's like, no, if you're looking for this information, that you really got to be searching for it. We don't want no weirdos over here, so the blue pill fit quite perfect. In our brother's case, this is typical behavior, you know what I'm saying? This is the common response when you wake up and you start castigating a particular system or ideology that you no longer agree with or you see eye to eye with, you know what I mean? And if anybody has been observing this brother for a moment, it was just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? Because he has been making drastic changes that are contrary to everything that we've seen or know about what this brother's about, who this brother is, or what he stands for. So we kind of saw him moving into this space right in front of our eyes. Many people don't recognize and see what it was. I know what it was. He was on some of these platforms making some very forward statements. You know what I'm saying? Aligning himself up with ideologies that are not in line with the mainstream, especially during this time. So how one navigates through the matrix, you have to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Just like Neo knew that he could no longer be Mr. Anderson. He could only be Neo. He couldn't straddle the fence anymore. Nick can't straddle the fence anymore. There's no way that he can be rocking turbans in the daytime and, you know, going back to promoting, you know what I'm saying? There's this fictional aspect of you know, this American ideal that he became the spokesperson for on this show. You know what I mean? Lining people up, you know what I mean? And leading them down to the gallows, you know what I'm saying? Where they're going to be signing these contracts that are going to be binding them forever and a day just because they do have talents. There's many talented people in this country, but this is a capitalistic society, and it's only meant to exploit people with talents, which are your resources. At some point, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't play that game anymore. And I feel in his spirit, he can't play that game anymore. So what do we do in a capitalist society? We start shaming a person. They're probably going to talk about, going from crazy. They're going to talk about his sexuality at some point. You know what I mean? Then they're going to start trying to attack his finances.
They said Mariah want to take the kids.
Mariah want to take the kids, right? So the sexuality aspect of it is that what? We're going to destroy you on the manhood aspect to say you're not fit to be a father. You know what I'm saying? You're crazy, but Trump isn't. You're crazy, but Bannon isn't. Cannon is crazy, but Bannon isn't. Because he wants to walk. What him walking away from the show is doing what? Is he changing policy? Is he threatening lives? You know what I'm saying? Is he pulling the Milo and advocating for pedophilia? No, he ain't doing none of that. But you don't see these people front page.
He's a nigga walking away from money.
He's a nigga walking away from the money. So you must be crazy.
Like Chappelle.
Yeah, like Chappelle. So you must be crazy because the only thing that we know about niggas is that this is the carrot on the stick. So if you're not playing for this game, for this trick, if you ain't jumping through this hoop, nigga, you got to be crazy. That's what they telling you. You just got to read between the lines.
Right.
That's all it is. In a fucking crazy world. Certified. Like, this shit is bonkers right now. but Nick Cannon is crazy, right? He's M'd up, and he's walking away from 1 point something, but he's crazy.
One thing, I want to talk about the language that we use, that subtle ways we speak on a day-to-day basis that we don't even realize gives us an inferiority complex, or maybe it doesn't. That's what I want to ask you. And just being aware of it. They call Nick Cannon the white Ryan Seacrest. Now, he's like the white version. He's like the top white dude that does these announcing gigs.
No, not only the announcing gigs. Like I said, what I told you about Ryan Seacrest is that Ryan Seacrest, he does announcements. He's the voice on some of these radio programs, but he secretly owns the production. He owns like the production behind Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, Ryan Seacrest.
He was the face initially for, you know, some of the I don't know if it was American Idol or the spinoff or what have you, but he also got into the back office aspect of things. So he got into the production aspect. He's a producer of these shows. So just like Nick Cannon might be the face of some of these Nickelodeon situations, but he also is the producer.
Right, or like Wild 'N Out.
Yeah, he got a lot of quiet money. You know what I'm saying? People don't, you know what I mean? They don't read the credits and see he's just not the talent. Right. And the shows that he's been able to control in America Got Talent, he was just the talent. He's just the hired face. He's not an executive, but he's an executive in some respects, and these other ventures that he's associated with. So yeah, that's why the comparisons to Ryan Seacrest is being made on that level.
Well, is it insulting, or do we look too much into racism, white supremacy, when they say Nick Cannon is the black Ryan Seacrest? So Nick Cannon said, no, Ryan Seacrest is the white Nick Cannon. Because we're often called the black so-and-so, but they don't really get called the white version of this or the white version of that. So is that like sort of like an inferior thing we take upon using this language?
I mean, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's the public or the people that are constructing social sentiments in the public. They are identifying initially what the power dynamic is, right? It's like, you know, it's the sex thing. Are you the upper or the lower? You know what I'm saying? Right. So automatically they're putting, you know, the quote unquote white on top as the upper. You know what I'm saying? And that's where those comparisons come in at. You know, there's subtle ways of checking niggas. You know what I mean?
Indeed. So is it safe to say that if you function normal in society, that's what really makes you crazy? Like a person that could just go to work 9 to 5, come home, take care of their kids, don't have no battles to fight, whether it be against the health industry, against racism, it could be against gender inequalities. If you're just comfortable with this life, is it safe to say that's the crazy motherfucker out there?
I mean, when we all walk it, you know what I'm saying, to where it needs to be, meaning that initially once we get to the finish line and we have the ability in retrospect to look back, we can say at that point, yeah, them niggas was crazy. But in this conformist society, the way that it's constructed, for you to be a model citizen, there's a playbook that you're supposed to play by to say, look, you fit perfectly as a cog in this wheel. You know what I mean? They're not going to be considered by dominant society to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It might be people like ourselves that are probably considered on the fringes, you know what I'm saying, that we might be pointing fingers to be like, them niggas crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they going to continuously just fuel this thing and not see nothing wrong with them being vamped for their energy? You know what I mean? We try to explain it to them and they can't see it. And then we're looked at as crazy for even trying to point these things out. You know, so there's a lot of crazy shaming going on. You know what I'm saying? People pointing fingers and this, that, and the other. But we have to be understanding that they were conditioned, you know, rightfully so, to play the role that they're playing. And it was a brilliant design. You know what I mean? So I don't want to call names. I don't necessarily want to call them crazy, but in hindsight, yeah, they probably will be considered, part of the crazy ones, and us crazy motherfuckers will be vindicated in the long run.
Indeed. Now, one of the reasons, one thing that people notice in a difference in Nick Cannon is he keeps wearing the turbans. So he wears the turban often, and people like, well, what the fuck you keep wearing the turban for? Yeah. He says he wears it to teach people to embrace differences. Why is this such a big problem? And this is not only in the black community with the white community. This is even a problem within the black community, and then also within the conscious woke black community, where if I'm in a certain type of spirituality and I, do this type of ritual and you do another ritual, sometime I'm looking at you like, why does he do that shit? Like, it seems as though we just can't seem to embrace difference no matter what community or group we belong to. Why is this such a problem for humanity to embrace differences within one another?
Again, because we were raised in a conformist, ideological society. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were taught that it's because a democratic society is a mob rule society. So your whole thing is like, this is something that we all agree with, right? There has to be a general consensus, even in the conscious community. There's a quote unquote general consensus about how certain things are done. And if you're on the fringes of the general consensus, again, you're looked at as crazy.
That's crazy, right? Once again.
You feel me? Yeah. You're just another variation of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Another variation.
Another variation. So it's one group thing to another group thing to another group thing. But you're going to find that in a conformist society. You're going to find that in a democracy where, quote unquote, mob rules. So, the gang is always right? That's what they always do. You're always hitting you with poll numbers, right? We're going to the polls. People don't go to vote. They're polling. They're not voting. They're polling. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So, that's kind of like, what our issues are with embracing differences. And I love my father, for teaching me at a young age. Like, he used to just point certain things out to us. You know what I mean? He'd be like, this is what you're going to run into. You know what I'm saying? This is what you have to look out for. And one of the main things that he told us as youth, he was like, to avoid a lot of the problems that you're going to see, he was like, allow people to be different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's why we've been able to be very successful in regards to unifying with other people from different walks and different ideological camps and persuasions and things of that nature. Like, we keep out of a lot of conflict because we were told and taught to let people be different. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, and I don't think that that has been reinforced. There's no echo chamber that reinforces that in our society. We are, right, almost as a society on some Agent Smith shit. Everybody's deputized to see something, say something. So if you see something different, right, and this shit don't fit into Pleasantville, okay? If everything is black and white, the minute you see a speckle of color, you're taught to point it out. Because differences don't work in a democracy, right? Even though we supposedly live in the most diverse place on the planet, right, in New York City, every fucking thing is here, all right? There's nothing more different than the things that you see here. But you also see people come here and they conform before long. And if it misses one generation, it catches their children. So they might wear the Habib and what have you. You know what I mean? But they got designer jeans on with Jordans. You feel me? They got a Chanel bag. You understand? They might even have the 3/4. They got eyeliner underneath it. There's a conformity. And that makes other people relax and say, oh, they're one of us. We have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Because they're part of the biggest religion on the planet. Americanism.
Americanism. Okay? Biggest religion on the planet.
Biggest religion on the planet.
Damn.
So that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying? The shit that we're talking about differences, it ain't really Muslim differences. It's not really, it's, are you different from the ideal of Americanism? Because Americanism could fit all of these other things into it. All right? But you got to have something about you to show us that you are an adherent to Americanism as a religion, and then we're comfortable. Right? Americanism wants to go to war with people that are not adherents to Americanism. Not Christianity, because these niggas ain't Christian. Okay? It's Americanism. Oh, we can't put a McDonald's where you at? We can't put a motherfucking Federal Reserve where you at? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to wear Nikes? We're going to bomb you to motherfucking, to oblivion. Americanism. That's what people are so scared of. You're not conforming. What you mean you don't want to put lights up during Christmas? These people ain't even Christian. Talking about they're your neighbors. They could be Hindus and all of that. But they're looking at you suspicious now because you're not pledging allegiance to Americanism. And that's what makes people unsafe in here, because everybody took that pill.
Damn, you got me stuck on that. Americanism, the biggest religion on the planet. I don't forgot the last question. I got that's a whole because that's a whole video within itself.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole video within
that's
itself.
That's a video series.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me?
That's a documentary series.
I'm ready when you
That's
are.
a documentary. Americanism
and all that. Yeah.
The biggest religion on the planet. Wow. Yeah, that's deep. But I guess to close out with, in terms of differences and in terms of what we seen from Dave Chappelle, what we see from Nick Cannon, the first thing that goes into our mind when we see somebody like a Nick Cannon is that, or let's say a Jesse Williams, what he did at the BET Awards, is that they don't fit our idea of a revolutionary,
right,
or somebody that would stand up. So we like, Nick Cannon is, what the fuck? This is Nickelodeon Nick Cannon. So once again, we have this preconceived notion of what the revolution is going to look like, or what social progress is going to look like. So the most conscious of us still is stuck in this mindset that it has to come from somebody dressed a certain way, who eats a certain type of food, who talks a certain type of way. So how can we, those people, break out of that matrix? Because it's like we go from one matrix to the next, to the next, to the next. How can we completely break out of this matrix that we keep finding ourselves in a new one?
How you gotta destroy the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Once again, chose to stick with the blue pill because I understood, even watching the Matrix, Neo had to go inside of the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? He had to actively involve himself inside of the construct. And when he got to the machine, he renegotiated the contract. He didn't destroy the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, the red pill is a fabrication because everybody's on the blue pill. Is there a reality without the Matrix? You know what I mean? That's a good question. So I would say you have to destroy the Matrix to replace it with a new one. But it's always going to be a Matrix because the Matrix holds things together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know, this brother right here on my shirt is a perfect example. You know what I mean? He's not your ideal revolutionary, but since he has created the mold of what a revolutionary is, then everyone again is held to the standard, right, of the black Americanism revolutionary aspects of what this brother represented. Okay, he belongs to the religion of Americanism as well. The black revolutionary aspect of it, or the black side of things, but still Americanism. This is how, you know what I mean? These things are very unique to this place that we're in. Nobody else did it like that. You know what I mean? So it just has to happen. I don't think we could prepare for it. I don't think that it's something that we should project. You know what I mean? It's somebody listening to us in the audience who's the one. It's somebody listening to us, just like Pac said. It might not be me, but I could spark it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be somebody out there that hears me that's going to be able to pick the mantle up and run with it. So it shouldn't be identifiable. You know what I mean? They showed you in the surrogate. That's a program as well. The revolutionary is a program that was designed. All right? That's a neo that they already saw that they neutralized. It has to be something else that's new, something else that you don't identify. It has to come from a place that you're not looking at. You know what I'm saying? It has to come from that unmitigated place that you're not prepared for. So that's how we want to see something that we're not prepared to see. We want to see something that's unrecognizable. But many people, because they are only fixed into constructs, into matrices, they can only identify what they can see, or that it needs to look like this. It got to have an afro. It got to have the afro with the sideburns. It got to be dark. It got to be stocky. It got to have on stomping boots. It got to have a fatigue jacket on. It got to have a pick in the back. You got to be chewing one of them chew sticks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it got to have an ankh and shit. You know what I mean? With the arm up. Like, this is how they've been conditioned and prepared to only see it. If it comes differently, then they're going to fight against it. You know what I mean? So the brother got a heart. The brother has a mind. You know what I mean? These things can be tweaked. These things can be turned on and activated by different dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We live in an information age. Colin Kaepernick, it don't look like your typical one. None of the ones. Jesse Williams don't look like your typical one. All of the ones that's banging, that's actually, you know, creating posters and shit, right, that's getting posterized on white supremacy, if even just for a score, and that's not even in the finals. That's just a poster in the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, they're the ones that are getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at your leadership. What are they doing? Look at the typical ones. What are they doing? They're making mockery of this shit. They're destroying the fabric of what that ideal and that construct means. So once they destroy it, or once they're busy destroying it, it only leaves room for other people that you can't identify to come forth and give you a new concept of what it is. You know what I mean? I look at my brother King Na, 11 years old. You feel me? Bringing a whole nother energy forward. We wasn't prepared for that. There's nothing in the rule books that says that that's what we should be looking for, but it's here. You feel me? There's a sister out there that got fire that we don't know about, but she's tearing things up where she's at. We're not prepared for that, but we're willing to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Come forward. So, yeah, man, it looks different. It's not what we can recognize, and that's the cool part about it. You know, the fear of a black moral messiah that Red Pill talks about, that's dealing with a particular construct. You know what I mean? If there's a nefarious group somewhere in the shadow government that are looking at birth charts and, you know what I'm saying, trying to look at fingerprints and, you know what I mean, or looking at your palm print and seeing you got the M in the middle and shit like that, if you the golden child, you know, hopefully they're glossing over and they're missing some people. You know what I'm saying? And those are some of the seeds that, you know, could ultimately grow into oak trees, man. And give us, you know what I mean, the cover that we need as a people. You feel me? We need more Nick Cannons. We need more Kaepernicks. We need more beast modes. You know what I'm saying? We need more of these people. We need more Chappelles. You know, where are the comedians at in the Trump era? Right. Other than Saturday Night Live. We need more Eddie Griffins. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We need these things. You know, we need the best of what we got to offer. We need more Ye's of this world. With the political early Ye, the old Kanye's.
The old Kanye.
You know what I mean? We these are the things that we need during this particular time. You know what I mean? We have to be indebted to the universe to know that whatever we ask of it, we shall receive. And we got to be firm in that. You know what I'm saying? We got to dust that Bible off and go back to them certain passages that have meaning, that we have to breathe new life into again. Speaking and so shall it be. You know, we have to be confident. We have to be overconfident. We have to be crazy with our consciousness and our confidence. You feel me? This is the only way. You know, do not try to normalize yourself in this crazy world. Get a little bit more crazier. Get a little bit more unpredictable. Okay? And if you're on that 9 to 5 and, you know, you're expressing yourself during this particular time because you're embracing your consciousness, you're embracing your woke self and what have you, and that shit makes everybody around you uncomfortable for whatever reason, that's not a fault of yours. That's a fault of them. Those executives that are uncomfortable with Nick Cannon, that's a fault of them. That's an inferior complex on their behalf. That's not a fault of his per se. Okay? Because this storied legacy, especially of people that come through the vein of comedy, they know about the Dick Gregory's of the world. They know about the Eddie Murphys and Richard Pryors. They know about the Red Foxes. They know that this is the sandbox that comedians play in. You have to give a comedian that lane. You cannot take that from them. But they tried. They started with Chappelle by feeling that, look, what everything else that we've been able to use to neutralize niggas, we can use it with them too, and that's the check. Right. You feel me? We can utilize this check. All right?
That carry.
That's where the European finds his phallic powers at. Okay? We're gonna stick it to them with this check. Okay? You gonna suck it or not? Pause. So he decided that he ain't wanna give him toppers no more. And y'all ridiculing him for that? You know what I'm saying? But y'all ridiculing the sellouts. Y'all ridiculing the people that don't want to sell out. God damn, who don't you ridicule? Okay?
They only love the dead, my brother. You gotta be dead.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be dead.
Part itself. Gotta be dead. You know what I'm saying? And they even coming for your head. If you ain't die right. These niggas want something to say about how you died. You ain't died. You didn't die gallantly enough. I'm questioning your revolutionary antics. You didn't die quite revolutionary. You died an old man. I'm not accepting that. You can't be a revolutionary dying old.
You ain't died like Jesus.
You ain't died like Jesus. Man, I heard a nigga talking awful the other day online about Dr. Sebi.
Yeah.
It hurt my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Saying what?
Don't follow this old man. He died. He died in jail. He died of a disease. You know what I'm saying? He died because he was trying to hoard money. I don't want to get into the details of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be dealt with. But it's just like to see how people that don't really, you know what I mean? Like how we extract pieces of a story and then cling on to that and then devise this whole narrative around it to attack somebody that's gone and try to exclude all of their contributions. Now, no one on this planet don't have a shadow. Nobody. Everybody come with a shadow. You know what I'm saying? So there's a dark side to everyone. There's a dark part to everyone. Everybody got a story. Everybody got dirt. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody was born with a motherfucking manicure where you can't get no dirt under your nails. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got dirt. But you can't be like excluding a person's whole history and their whole story because you wasn't pleased with how they died. And that's the criteria that people that want a front line for the rest of the people or for themselves, for their own personal dignity. But it just might so happen to be in the purview of the world to say, oh shit, that's how you getting down? Nick might be doing that just for Nick. Not for the people, quote unquote. He ain't putting on for the race, probably. He's putting on for his own self-dignity. You know what I'm saying? He can't live with that shit. It's fucking with him. Okay? But you can't allow him to do that because it doesn't match your personal preferences of what you feel he should be doing with his life. Because if you was in a position, you would have done different. That's what you're saying. That's also what this society got you thinking. That you can look at somebody, right, and judge them because you want to sit at the TV and scream at it all day. You think you playing on that team. You think that's you on the stage on American Idol. That's what this society has led you to believe. And then you get in your feelings about it. You feel me?
When you find out you're not. When you're saying when a person does something you wouldn't do.
No, like let's say you fuck around and meet the person, then you spend 15 minutes telling that person what you don't like about a decision that they made in their life before you be like, but I really fuck with you though.
Oh man. Yo, bro, that's deep. Or that no, leave your contact info so the people can holler at you.
Blue Pillar 44. That's on IG. All right. Holla at us, my brother Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Nick, holla at
We
us.
need an interview here on Underground Railroad. You know, I think that when you know how to ask the right questions, you could get a entirely different response out of these people, and we can do a better job at humanizing these individuals and making their argument a little bit more relatable. Because I hear what he's saying, but it's being screwed and skewed in the public because these reporters have no idea how to go about their journalistic duties of extracting who these people are. You know what I'm saying? And that's where our brother is very good at. That's where I feel like I'm good at, Red is good at. You know what I'm saying? And there are a few other people that have skills as interviewers that can extract a story out of a person in the best parts. So I know somebody's out there looking at this that knows how to get in contact with the brother. Holla at the brother. Have him holla at us. You know what I'm saying? So we can move forward and get this brother's real story out to the public so the public don't fall for the gaff. So they're not the ones, so they don't create a chorus out of the people to have them lambasting this brother when he's going through what he's going through at this time, and he has a medical condition. He got lupus. Okay? And we got some motherfucking relief for you over here, family. You need to holler at us for that as well. So the brother has a medical condition, all right? And people's energy on a person can affect that person. So this could be the worst time that the people decide to go against that man. And that's what the quote-unquote machine will do to these people, all right? Especially if they deem what you stand for as a threat, because you no longer have brand loyalty, right? And you're going against these corporations, all right? So don't fall for it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The memes is cute and everything, but do remember that Beyonce was on stage a few days ago and she was tapping into her spirituality and she got dragged. You know what I'm saying? But y'all came to her defense because she already has a built-in defense system. So let's not just be African when we on stage. Let's not just be conscious when we are in our videos, people. You know what I mean? They got this on and off switch that's so convenient for them because they are the priesthood of Americanism as well. Not to take anything away from them. I'm just saying, understand it for what it is and look at it, because there are many elements to go into Americanism. You know what I'm saying? And they represent that, they straddle that particular that aspect very well. But, you know, don't castigate others that can't put on as well as you. They can't wear two faces. You know what I'm saying? Don't put on, don't start pointing fingers and you know, side eye and what have you and shit like that. You know, Jay looking at the dude like, what you trying to acknowledge? He had one of them looks at, you know what I mean?
Nah. Jay was like, I see you, Nick. I want the people, tell me what you thought that picture was about, man. I'm gonna give Jay I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He was like, I see you, Nick. That's what I would say, man.
Okay. All right. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We need to interview the big homie as well. But yeah, like, I definitely wish the brother the best, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely hope that his family is standing by him in these times, because the media is no friend of Mariah Carey. The media is no friend of Nick Cannon. At some point or another, the media is no friend of Jay-Z or Beyonce. You know what I mean? The media, as Trump is exposing, you know what I'm saying? The media is look, man.
Fake news.
They fake news and shit. And I mean, I don't want to put my allegiance or my alliance with Trump in the position that he's taking, because that's a very dangerous position. You know what I'm saying? If we understand the psychological play that he's playing out with calling it fake news. You feel me? But the media is still fake news. The media is still fake news. The media is responsible for propaganda. The media is responsible for this awful image, you know what I'm saying, that the melanated man has across this planet. The media is responsible for a lot of BS. You know what I mean? But when he's talking that talk, you know what I mean, it's a little something different. You dig what I'm saying? At the same time, though, this is the media that you need to be focused on. So I don't even want to focus on them. Go and donate. Make sure that you support those who support you. And that's pretty much what this thing is all about. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, family.
Apparelnormal.com. Shastamedicine.com.
Oh, and I'm on Instagram now, family. Go to Black Magic 363 on Instagram. And
yeah, that brother, he's posting.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So make sure you join the page. I don't like using the word follow. Join the page. You know what I'm saying? Like the page. Repost it if necessary. Show the brother that y'all see him out there. Black Magic 363. Make sure that you spell it for them so they can find you on IG though.
Right. I'm putting it on the screen, family. And on that note, we signing out. We gonna see you next time. Peace. Peace, family. This brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I can ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I could make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com and send a donation to richandmerit7@yahoo.com. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your program.
A few red apples falling from the same tree. They're all wondering why one skin is green. 'Cause I can't put no coins in your cup. 'Cause I'm still trying to work my way up. And never meant to show you no love. But this can't be about you. This can't be about you. You gotta let me go. Gotta let this bird flow. Make it fast, not slow. It's the path I chose. Feel it in my soul. And I'm so thankful. Oh, 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 oh. You gotta let me go. Gotta let this bird flow. Make it fast, not slow. It's the path I chose. Feel it in my soul. And I'm so thankful. Oh, 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 oh. I'm here by the skin of my teeth. And you can't keep tugging my sleeve. What I make, we can't eat. This just can't be about you. This can't be about you. You gotta let me